again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your Monday Night Talking Town Extra Time. It is Monday. It is the start of a week, game week. We've finally got a game at the end of this week. International weekend always seems to be the longest weekend that God managed to put on this green earth, because you're literally spending Saturday afternoon just constantly looking at your phone and social media, and nothing's updating and nothing's happening because there isn't anything to be updated. And if you're a cricket fan, which our contributor is tonight, well, I don't actually know what the score is. So I'm not even going to try and put my neck on the line here and say he might have been enjoying it or otherwise. But no, he's giving me the thumbs up. So that means Crunch has not enjoyed the weekend. And I want to been a bit of a bear of a sore head. Love you, Crunch, really. Welcome in, guys. It's an active chat already. Absolutely love to see that. I truly do. We're going to look at a couple of things tonight. Obviously, Mark Ashton's interview with various media outlets. We'll discuss that, what we think of it, a few questions stemming from it, how we see things playing out. And then we'll look at maybe a couple of games that Kally might have picked out that means something to him in a little feature called Games of Our Years. If you like the feature, and it could be a standalone show, do let me know. Twitter, YouTube comments, DMs, Facebook, whatever the case may be, because it is something we want to bring to the channel. If it's something that you guys and girls want to see, want to get involved in, of course, you can put your own games to me, and you can come on the show and discuss what they mean to you, how they've shaped you, why they've shaped you. Sometimes it's not the most obvious game that is the one you choose. The GOAT is in the house. I bet he's got a couple of real quality gem games that shaped him to be the fan or person he is. Duncan, welcome in. Duncan, nice to see you. Lee's in the room. Lee Anderson, how's that floor this afternoon, Lee? Are you progressed to the sofa? Mike D, when does this fucking international break finish? Exactly, my tuppence. Michael Finch went to England game yesterday. I must say there was quite a few Ipswich supporters. Of course there is. We absolutely travel in our droves. Right, tonight we may have a look at the prediction league as well, but I may save that for Thursday's show. But let's get in our contributor. Don't forget, you can support us on Ko-Fi actually very quickly as a moth flies past me. And I am aware there are a few names missing off this list on the intro. So thank you for messaging me, those that have. But I am aware that sadly you are missing it, and I'm working on it as a matter of urgency. But thank you for supporting us through Ko-Fi. Here he is. It's, of course, King Kally Bisla.
Man, I'm gully and techie. You want me, then check me. Just butt me, I'm ready. I need that money in heavy. I'm banging these raps like Pumpy with Shelly. Shell it, bad it, I'm dipping. I said that I'd leave, but I'm back in the kitchen. She pour it, back it, I'm sipping. Feeling away, but she tackling feelings. Man, I'm gully and techie. You want me, then check me. Butt me, I'm ready. I need that money in heavy. Banging these raps like Pumpy with Shelly. Shell it, bad it, I'm dipping. Said that I'd leave, but I'm back in the kitchen. She pour it, back it, I'm sipping. Feeling away, but she tackling feelings. I hit it in scurrying, gassed it. She calls it childish, I call it tactics. White doors on a coupe, but I wrapped it. Got a next one, remapped it, rapid.
Love that song. Absolutely love that song. I'm getting to the point now where I can sing it word for word. But Kally, King Kally, royalty is with me this evening. How are you, first of all, King?
I had a really good day. Really great day watching the cricket. Number one TV. Sorry, Crunch.
Makes sense now, right? It makes sense. It makes sense.
I know it's a football podcast, but we'll just quickly touch on it. Test cricket was the format, which is over multiple number of days. Test cricket traditionally can be boring as shit. Not when it comes to England and India. Whether it was in India last year at the beginning of the year, this year when we played them in India. Now we played them over here. First game, I thought that's it. Shit, might as well pack up. England have won this, but you know what? It was the second innings from us was phenomenal, and our bowling was phenomenal today. So yeah, it was brilliant. But that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to rub it too much in, but India. Sorry.
Lee Anderson is standing in the kitchen tonight, King, and Tom James is doing a Lee and watching from the floor. New carpet, new man. But hey, however you want to watch Talking Town, make sure Talking Town is your ITFC content of choice. Nice shirt, Kally, says Mike D. And Ben Moore was expecting a promotion ting from Carl Edwards.
We're not promoted yet, so there'll be a promotion ting 2.0.
Did he maybe he wanted to have a collaboration with Ed Sheeran? Yeah. How would that go, do you reckon?
Well, so Ed Sheeran's not my cup of tea. Yeah, but he's not my cup of tea when it comes to like musicians I'm going to listen to, I'll be honest. And I only really started listening to him when I found out he liked Ipswich and stuff, and he was from local and all the rest of it. But he's done a few good remixes. He did a track with I think called London or something with Stormzy on there and JK, one dude from here from Brum. He had 50 Cent and Eminem in the same track where he talks about growing up as a misfit from outside of Ipswich. So that's always good. So I don't know. There's with hip hop because JK, Eduardo as his rap persona is. Eduardo is more of a rap type of bars rather than grime. But rap works quite well with harmonies, so it could be a really good thing. It could be a top seller, who knows? But Promotion Team 2.0, that's what I'm going for. This is
it. Promotion Team 2.0. Facebook user new number 2 coming in tomorrow. Top Man. Ben Moore is expecting. It just said that. Martin didn't really hear that one again. Mark Baker, evening all. I'm out on the bank doing a bit of carping. Michael Finn says, take me back to London. Right. Well, let's kick things off with obviously a bit of Mark Ashton. He spoke at length with a couple of media outlets, both Kings of Anglia and also the football club, Stuart and Andy, both the football reporters there, and the news reporters. So I suppose, first of all, how confident are you in this football club? And what are your general feelings having listened to Ashton over the course of 2 or 3 days?
It's the same message I've been hearing since May, which is they're building a team. They're building a team that's going to be competitive in the league above. It's not an instant fix. It's not instant mashed potato. It's a full meal, so it's going to take a while.
True.
And you just gotta have faith. Like the Morsey and I'm quite glad Ashton said a few things today, so then we can talk freely about it now.
Yeah.
But the Morsey and Selena deals were the deals that we knew about. I think I had a look at my messages to you, and it was like 10th of May when I dropped you a message, and I was like, oh, right, these are the 2 names at the top of the pile. And all we heard through the summer, certainly all I heard through the summer, is the deal's still on, the deal's still on, the deal's still on. So when we're like, oh, are we buying these players too? It's a knee-jerk reaction. Nah, these were always part of the plan.
100%.
And Tom Carroll coming in, it was just like that. When Tom Carroll signed, then I went out and found out a bit more info because I was like, shit, this doesn't sit right. And it was like, no, there's a process here. Same with the Aluko thing and all the rest of it. It's a squad, isn't it? So, completely ripped it up. But I'm confident, man. I'm still confident. Still think we'll turn the tide. It's only been 5 league games.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. But in terms of the direction of the football club, and obviously because he is the main man at the football club, you've got the game changers, you've got Michael O'Leary, but he is the main man. And compared to what we've previously had, the confidence must be such. Because when you listen to Mark Ashton, I don't know about yourself, but literally I could walk in on him in bed with my missus, and he'd probably convince me to give him a sandwich and a cup of tea before he left. Do you know what I mean? Like he just talks with that style of. I'll give it him.
Well, I heard Pfizer are going to start using his voice instead of the other tablet they use, the little blue pack tablet for men of a certain age, to get them really going. Because fucking hell, when he talks, you're like, yeah, fucking hell, I love that. But no, I mean, I've got that soft spot for him because he's from the Black Country. He sounds, it sounds like voices I hear. So like hearing him talk, that sounds pretty cool. His track record's pretty good in terms of what he's done in the game, and he's a top businessman, so he knows what he's talking about. The way he talked about, it's about change management as well. It's not just about transfers, and that's it. It's about the whole club. I liked. I can't remember which interview it was, but when he was talking about the logic behind changing the PA system and having the digger, the picker truck. Well, he was saying, you're going to have these kind of forklift pick trucks or whatever on the pitch, which are going to sink the pitch. So it's not something we can do over an international break. It's more over a summertime or whatever. Yeah. So, he set the expectation there, which is like, it's not going to happen until next summer. But it's good. But I think one thing we have to well, you guys have to take your hat off to him because I've been taking my hat off to him the whole time, is Cookie. Because Cookie is a big factor in these transfers coming in here. Yes, Ashton's got the business nous and sense and knows how to approach transfers and all the rest of it. But, Morsey said it himself. He ain't dropping down the league for no one else. Right? It doesn't matter what Ashton was throwing at him. Same as half of these players, it's like they believe in what Cook can do. Yeah. So Cook and Ashton so far, it started off so well. Let's just hope it can continue now with some results. Hoovercat. Where's the setting? Where's your dog, Gov? If it starts going Disney and loses its grassroots and hip hop can fuck off down the chip shop. I tell you what though, right? I'm with you.
This was a forced move. The wife said she wants her living room back. She wants it to be back being a family room so she can, have people round when I'm doing the shows and all this crap that I'm not really subscribing to. So we had to get the green screen because this is actually the laundry room. And if I lifted that flap there, you'd be seeing the Govs dirty laundry or his dirty undies, but you'd certainly be seeing the Govs something.
That's like a separate show. The Govs dirty laundry.
It really is. So I'm trying not to go all Disney on you, but it was that, or staring at my wife fronts all for the next 15 minutes. But there we go. Lee Brown, Saturday can't come quick enough. Bring it on. New camera, Gov. Really good quality picture. No, I just turned the lights on. That's the truth. I've just turned the lights on.
It's your moisturising routine, mate.
It's the sweat. Matt Stannard, she wants people round. Just check Ashton ain't downstairs, Gov. If he was, I'd give him a sandwich, a cup of tea, and then I'd drive him home. Facebook user, lift the flap. No chance. Colin Plum, Gov is the new Jeff Stelling. Mike D, Cook major for Morsey and Chaplin. Exactly why Cook is here for the season. Yeah, possibly so. I tell you what, I did find exciting though from the Kings of Anglia one was that Ashton revealing that championship clubs, Kally, had been in for Chaplin and Edmondson, and then CEOs and chief execs and agents and scouts and whoever then were phoning us and saying what great business it was. They ain't phoned us to say what great business we've done as a football club for fucking years. That to me was like proper poor. Yes.
No, well, we had a CEO. I think it was Ashton who rang Marcus Evans and said what a great deal you did when he sold Adam Webster for 20 million off a 5 million investment or 4 million investment. So, but yeah, it just goes back to what we said before. It's night and day from last season. We can talk not just about last season, but the Marcus. When I say last season, I mean the whole Marcus Evans era, right? Mm-hmm. It's night and day, and we're making signings now. You think when Keane come in or Jewel was here, and we were signing, I used to joke Portman Road was a care home, right? Is where players came to die or retire, right? Simply, that's what it was. Yeah. How many times have we said, "Oh, we were linked with that player 10 years ago when he was good. Now he's here." I remember a washed-up Sylvan Ebanks-Blake turning up here, right? I loved seeing him at Wolves. He was banging them in. I remember we had Lee Bowyer here, right? He did fuck all, right? Name me one good thing Lee Bowyer did, please, right?
No, you're right.
But you know they're taking a wedge on wages and everything. Now all of a sudden you got Edmondson, you got Chaplin, like they talked about. They're both about 23, I think, 23, 24. Oh God.
Nathan Ellington.
Oh, God.
Can you hear that? It's that barrel being scraped.
This is it, and I think you guys said before, like
Nigel Reo-Coker at Villa away. Can you remember that?
Oh God! But this is what we had to deal with. It was the people that were there for the payday. Well, it's oh God, yeah. It's Ivan Campo. Remember Ivan Campo? Mind you, he went too bad. But
he was one of the better ones.
Yeah. But it was the kind of it's the night and day. So before it was you come here for your final payday. Come for your final payday. Now people are coming at a good age where it's like, no, I'm going to come build this team up. I believe in the project. Carl Edwards, 20 odd. Rec, 20 odd. Got none of these are they're all between like 22 and 25. Apart from Sam Morsey, I don't think anyone we brought in has been over 20, and Evans has been over 25. So good ages. All good term contracts. Fuck me, we signed Connor Chaplin to a 3-year contract. We signed Edwards to a 3-year contract. These aren't loan deals. These aren't like, it's not even like we can get done by like the Jimmy Bullard situation where we'll have him on loan. He'll do fantastic, and then he won't turn up when he signs a permanent contract. It's like, no, they've signed. They're brilliant.
Yeah.
So I'm happy, man. I'm ecstatic, man. My club is coming together.
It is, and that's a great comment. Ben Moore, Tyrone Barnett, Tom James, Zeke Friars. Oh, Huddersfield away, nightmares. Adam, back then, club was playing Championship Manager 07. You mentioned a couple of names there, then Cal. Give me Ashton gave his player of the transfer, or most important transfer, I think they called it. What's your most important transfer?
What do I think will be so?
So this club's made 19 signings. 20 if you include Ed Sheeran. what do you think is the most important signing of the lot? There's one that maybe brought it all together, one that signalled intent, one that would be great on the football pitch. What do you think, or who do you think rather, is the most important?
I think it's going to be the two on the final day. So Selena and Morsey. Morsey, I think, as the natural leader, he's going to help gel this group of players together. Certainly, from what I know about him, he's a natural leader. He is someone that, he's very approachable. He is someone that you can take time out with and everything, and he's got a lot. He will give you a lot of time. So I think the players will feel that. They'll feel they've got a proper leader there. Almost like, how we heard about how good Chambers' leadership skills were.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily on the pitch, but certainly behind closed doors, his leadership skills were brilliant. That's where Morsey's going to come in. And I think Selena is the kind of, when you looked on because we're talking about Football Manager, when you looked on the old school Football Manager and used to have a little star next to the star player, Selena's got 2 stars there. He's the standout player, isn't he? I mean, come on, forget his time at that mustard place, Dijon or whatever, right? He's a quality, and he's still young. We all remember what he did for us in the Championship.
Wizard.
And be patient with him because he's not been training a lot. So I don't think you'll see a lot of him between now and sort of October, November time or whatever. He'll probably come off the bench, get eased into the team. But yeah, them two are going to be so important for us.
Yeah. I just try and think of maybe there was one signing that got the ball rolling. Maybe in terms of ambition. I mean, because if you look at the start of the window,
if it's the ambition, then it's straight away. It's Raheem Harper.
Yeah, I think that's what I was going to go.
That was the one. It was just like, shit, this is a young lad in his prime who's got Championship experience. If you train him right, he could be something really spectacular here.
Yeah.
And he signed for a club in Suffolk who are in League One.
Yep. Yeah. I just think because obviously when you've got a history as a club over the last 13, 14 years of not doing things necessarily the right way or the more expensive way or whatever, there has to be a signal and a moment. The agents, the clubs, the players start looking at you with okay, they're serious this time, or they mean what they're backing up. Because no disrespect to Wes Burns and co, the early transfers, that is a League One transfer. Fleetwood's right winger to another League One club. Someone like Rec, Connor Chaplin, someone like that who's got no right really or no need stepping down. That's an agent or a player or a club suddenly going, okay, we'll call them back or we'll speak to them or something along those lines. Because that's the catalyst that gets the Morseys, the Selenas, and obviously he mentioned leaks, Ashton, and maybe he needs to have a little quiet word with Sam Morsey because Sam Morsey was the worst leaker of them all because he was liking things as late as bloody April last year or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think there's 2 things on that part. So in terms of Morsey himself, don't forget footballers, humans like everyone else, they'll follow people on Twitter. So someone pointed it out. I mean, I've followed Sam on Twitter for a long time anyway. He's from the area I grew up in. But seeing him, obviously he's following it on Twitter. People were getting 2 and 2. People weren't for sure knowing what was going on. I will say, yes, I did hear it confirmed. On the 10th of May, I messaged you saying this is the lad we're in for. And credit to Cook, Ashton, and I forget the other guy's name, Luke. I forgot his last name.
Luke Mirren, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's his name. But Ashton talks about him a lot, so I guess he has a lot to do in it as well. But they ain't giving up. They got the deals done. We had deadline day transfers. The only time I've seen deadline day transfers is when I play Football Manager or FIFA. I don't see it for Ipswich otherwise. So, but he's got a point with the leaks because there is this need by people on Twitter and I guess it goes on Facebook and whatever, but to be in the know or whatever. I've been accused of it sometimes, but if you check my timeline, you'll never see me talking about a transfer before it's gone out. I might have messaged a few people, like yourself or whatever, and we might have the messaging going on because I know I can message you and other people, and it's not going on the timeline. And part of that is, as an Ipswich fan, you want to share the excitement with someone like, shit, this is who we're after, and so. The whole need to put it on the timeline, I've never agreed with. It is an ego thing. It's the new social media thing, like hunting for likes, a bit of clout or whatever. Like, look at this. I remember there was a kid who popped up who would just retweet everything Dobbo or someone else said, And it was like, oh, I'm in the know, I'm in the know, I'm in the know. And it's like, okay.
I know who you mean. I won't say his
yeah,
name. I know who you mean.
Well, I'm not here to embarrass anyone or cause any issues with anyone, but I'm just saying it's like, just think about it. Like, if people think, I got a lot of shit because I said, oh, actually, people were talking about the Selena deal in July. We already knew about it or maybe even late July. We already knew about it by that point for a month or two, or we already knew that he was coming, or that certainly was the number one target. Now you're looking at the other bits, and then you say, no, why is this name being leaked? Why is that name being leaked? What is the purpose here? Now the what's the lad's name who Crooks?
Yes,
Crooks. Yeah, that I got shit from this, but I'm 90. I'd say 90% certain. A lot of the talking online and everything did alert other clubs that other clubs were not alerted some other clubs that were not in for him. Now, what happens when you get more clubs going in for someone? It's supply and demand, isn't it? So if the demand's there and the supply isn't, all of a sudden, this player was valued at 1.1 million. Now he's 1.678 million or whatever. You get priced out of it. So all we're doing is hurting our own club. And isn't it more exciting and fun to just wait for it to be confirmed, to see your player?
Yeah. I hate knowing things. I hate it. I hate it. I love it and I hate it. I love knowing people, that perhaps have that information and getting to know them as people and then calling them friends. And I'm very privileged to know a few people like that now and be able to call them friends. But in equal measure, when you know something, it's like you desperately want to sort of explode it out and let the world know because it's going to be great or exciting or awesome, and you can't. So it's like Christmas time, when certain transfers, and I won't say the ones through this window, I knew about maybe a day or two before, and I was just waiting for the TWTD or the ADT or another site to release it, so it was out there in the open. It was like every 5 minutes, check your Twitter. Is it out? Is it? Oh, it's out there. Bang, let's go. So yeah, it's a bit of both. But do you ever think you'll get into a situation where you never have a leak? Because
no,
in the same way you say fans there, yeah, because agents also use it. They also use it.
That's where it started from.
Yeah,
it was these in the knows were agents or people at clubs or whatever. Now, I know some people refer to me as in the know. I don't say I am, right? I just know some people and I know some information, right? Right. But now you got people like that are fans, or people that are just, don't have any role in the game like that have that information, and people will leak it left, right, centre, and it does get frustrating because I could see all our fans losing our shit. When we released all the players, and I'm like, just trust the process. I've seen a list of names. If these come off, brilliant. And I think I did tweet something saying, look, if Cook gets his targets, watch the team go or whatever. And that was around the time Sonny Bradley, because Bradley was a player we were in for, and Bradley and Crooks were the only players that we couldn't convince to come, right, for whatever reason, right. And so you're like, okay, it was good business otherwise, fairly good business. But you just, I just think the whole in the know, the whole leak and the source, it is clout chasing. It's people want it for the likes. People wouldn't do it otherwise. If it was like, okay, you're going to be in the know, you're going to leak some information from an anonymous account or whatever, do it that way. Like, if you want to be a whistleblower or whatever, where like these types of things. But no, people want to do it for the likes. They want to. It's about remaining relevant, and it's just. I don't see it. I mean, when people were losing their shit, when we were losing, over the last five games, and the big thing, and I've said it, and I tried to hint at it several times when I was coming on this show, saying the midfield is a problem. We need a hard-hitting midfielder. The midfield is a problem. We need a hard-hitting midfielder. I kept saying that on the few shows I was here. You did. And then on a Saturday, when I knew about things, it was just like, okay, I wanted to jump on Twitter because I think I said something to Matt. I want to say, like, chill the fuck out, right? We're going to get a player through the door. But you just got to be professional, isn't it?
It is, and you mentioned Bradley a bit there, and Mike D says it'd be interesting if we'd got Crooks or Bradley now. I just think maybe if Sonny Bradley, if he hadn't been a free agent or becoming a free agent, and we could have maybe waited a bit longer, or he could have done, because he would have seen then suddenly the catalyst, that Raheem Harper, that Connor Chaplin, the George Edmondson, who's wanted by Derby and is at Rangers, because sometimes it's hard to believe. I find it hard to believe, certainly, that that the vision is what the vision is, and you need some signals to do it. But Luton, obviously, are a championship club, so they've offered a new deal. And to be fair, he's going to stand the championship where he probably deserves to be.
He's staying in the championship for one season. No disrespect to Luton, but they're not a sustainable championship side. They will be in League One in the next 3 or 4 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll be back in the championship. We will certainly have a better chance, or Sonny Bradley would have certainly had a better chance of playing at the top level in the Premier League with Ipswich Town than he would with Luton Town, right? I know that's kind of funny thinking that because we're in League One and they're in the Championship, but we're in League One, backed by 27 billion, however billions we've got or whatever, right? All the money in the fucking world at the moment. We've got the backing. We've got a chairman and CEO that know the game, that know what they want, and we've got a manager with proven success and about 3 different voices in his interviews. So it's. I think it is just a case of letting them gel. Our club. It's exciting because we're going to be back on the way to the top. And I don't mean we're going to win the Premier League. I mean, we may win the Premier League. Who knows? Leicester did, right? And Leicester were they in the League One before? I think they were, right? So, anything is possible. And the whole thing with this takeover, the one thing is been for us as Ipswich fans, it's been like giving us a kind of a green light to dream again, almost. Because let's be real, we've always been a bit pessimistic as Ipswich fans because we've been programmed that way. Ever since the relegation in 2001, 2002, right? We've been programmed that way where it's just, disappointment after disappointment. Shit, it's Ipswich, we're on Sky. All the Sky games, we just beat Wigan last year, after how many losses and all the rest of it. So we've always had that pessimistic thing. I never thought I'd see the day Ipswich Town was sold to a proper owner or a decent set of owners in terms of game changer where they want to invest in the club, passionate owners. I didn't ever think I'd see my club in a good fit state that it is now. Right, I know obviously there's a lot to do, so it was like, okay, I'm dreaming again, and look, I'm hoping Ronaldo signs another deal at United, like an extension beyond that second year, so in the third year he can come to play at Portman Road, when we're in the Premier League, because that's what it's all about, right?
Well, absolutely, and I'm like a kid at Christmas. I say the truth because everything I probably ever sat down on a show or in a pub or at the stadium and asked for and wanted from my football club, it's like somebody's finally granted me 3 wishes, and it's all, an ownership with ambition. I'm not saying Evans didn't, but this is clearly ambition. You were going out and getting your Carl Edwards and co. And just sharing your viewpoints as a football club and having a leader at the top that's as open as we're discussing here today. And
I think that's a key word there, open and access as well. You do feel these owners and the owners are on Twitter, right? They've been on these shows, they've been on other pods as well. They've engaged with the community from day one. Marcus Evans 9 or 10 years before he did an interview with Ipswich Town. Right, a face-to-face video interview. Everything else was text before then.
Yeah. Right.
Marcus Evans never met any of the fans. Right. Never did any of this. He was this elusive character. He was almost like the Bermuda Triangle. Like you knew it was there. You knew it was bad if you went anywhere near there.
Yeah.
But no one ever seen it, so you just didn't know. That's what Marcus Evans. He was the Bermuda Triangle, right?
You never got a from the owner email, and it'd be good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's the thing. He put himself out automatically as I'm the owner. I own this club. You all serve me or pay me or whatever. Ashton O'Leary, it's like we're just the gateholders, we're gatekeepers, whatever they said, right? You custodians, I think they use, right? You guys, it's your club, right? It's your club. We're here for you, and you got access. You got Ashton coming out at bloody Cheltenham, applauding the fans. Marcus Evans wouldn't come out at Wimbledon, right, which is down the road from his house.
I think he's been there twice this year, though, Mark. Is it if the guy I'm looking at in the box isn't a doppelganger and isn't something that looks like Marcus, but is Marcus? He's been there twice already this year, so I think he does care. I don't think you can own a club as long as he did without it. But
I couldn't tell you what he looked like, so I don't know.
Well, I only know from the pictures. I've not actually met the guy. But SCMP, Ashton sort of mentioned it a little bit in the interview with the Kings of Anglia guys about because they asked him about people being concerned about SCMP and where and where we are with it, how far short we might fall of it, if we're going to fall short of it exactly. Were you ever worried throughout this whole summer where, you're thinking about the SCMP, salary cap management protocol?
No, because you got football people in football positions that know these things, right? It's no point. And I know we give I certainly give Leo Neal a lot of shit, right? As a glorified PE teacher, right? He did the best job he can. I work in IT strategy, right? Put me in that job, I'd be like Leo Neal as well, right? I'd be out of my depth. I don't have the contacts and everything like that. Fine, right? But when you have got the contacts, when you have got these kind of things, Ashton talked about, the contacts at West Brom and his Bristol contacts and all the rest of it. You know the game, you know what's needed to be done. So if you're bringing in these players, well, we gotta bring some revenue in here. Then we got to make sure that we're bringing some revenue in another way, which is player sales or player exits, and all this shit on Twitter. And I know we got called Checkbook FC, but please, any fan, please point to me our excessive spending, because I've not seen anything that's been excessive spending. In fact, we've got more in player sales than we have on outlays. Yes. So and I think we only made 3 or 4 actual cash sales. Forget Drinnan and what's his face, Hawkins, right? But Doz, Bish, Lance, Downs. Those are your 4 ones that generated all your cash to bring in 19 players, right? And of course, you've then got, and that's down to brilliant business from Ashton as well. How we got 1.5 million from Downs, I don't know. That's another subject to discuss or whatever another time. But we've got the thing. Fans are back. Remember, Ipswich is a big club, and I don't think people appreciate it when you're in the county and you're at the ground and you're in the town or around the town. Yeah. Remember, the whole of Suffolk is one club. Yes. Right, and in fact, I'll argue the whole of East Anglia is one club anyway. But that's another thing, right?
Take the NOR out of Norwich, and you got one club.
But that's it. It's the whole county. It's the whole county, so you're gonna get we had a record-breaking sales on jerseys. We've got to call them jerseys now because we're American owners; they're not shirts. So we've had the sports attire has been really good. The sales on that, 18, 19, 20,000 at home. That figure won't drop below 16,000. We will always. I guarantee you, we'll have at least 16,000 each home game, right? And you're bringing in money, and it's like. Bringing in that in, we've let out some big earners. Chambers was a big earner. Judgy was a big earner. Sears was a big earner. You've let some big earners go that, if I'd say, maybe Edwards is probably not on the same contract that Chambers was. So you're already in a surplus. Do you know what I mean? So these are football people running it. They know what they're doing, man. It's like, you leave it to the experts and this is what they are. Right? It's just people just want to panic for no reason.
Yeah, and again, something else came out of the Kings of Anglia interview. And to be fair to Stuart and Andy, they have taken some criticism, some right, some wrong from the crunch, from Matt, from myself, from other people. But I really thought, as an interview, this was really good, and they really got to the topics at hand and asked the right questions. And next steps was an interesting one that they kind of come up with. Now that you haven't got to wheel and deal a bit in the transfer market, PR aside, because that PR system is really starting to grate on me. If you're watching, Mark, please, or whoever who may know Mark Ashton, please tell him to turn it off. I beg you. I'd rather none of us could hear it than Kally couldn't hear it, and I'll be pinned to the back of the cobble stand with it. It's that loud. But what are the next steps that you want to see from the football club? Not necessarily playing style or points or transfers. Next steps that you're a holder. You go there every home game. You see, and you know what's been done before. What sort of things do you want to see from the football club now?
I think they've started to do that. They were doing these 2 things simultaneously. They were getting the on-field stuff right, so recruitment, backroom staff, and everything. Mm-hmm. Then they did that thing that you and Crunch went to, the fans forum.
Q&A, yeah.
Right, and I was meant to go, but I couldn't leave work till about 4:30, and I'm like, shit, I can't rock up there late or something, right? So I just had to decline. But those kind of things, like engagement with your fans, engagement with your community, massive hats off and shout out to the media team who run the social pages and everything. They've been putting out content all the time. I know it's a bit easier when you've got a signing every 2 minutes, right? So it's good to put something out there. Yeah. But even things like, what was it they did a couple of weeks ago, that coffee club or something?
Yeah, coffee club.
Right? It just it shows a bit of the softer side of getting. We don't know these players, so let's get to know their personalities a bit better. Let's understand them. I like Carl Edwards, but he's chatting shit. Dudley's a shithole, right? Dudley is not the centre of the earth. It's a shithole. No, I know we got Andrew Harrison probably watching, and he's from Brierley Hill. Not Brierley Hill. Brierley Hill, we like Dudley. No, shithole. But it's the engagement with the community and the fans. You're already being accessible. Do those kind of things. Have more of these Q&As. Have more things about how come. Because there's no point in them coming here and say, well, this is what worked well at Bristol. We have Bristol City, right? With no disrespect to Bristol City. Okay, they're in the Championship, but we're a bigger club than them. Right, and I know we talk about it's all about history, but it is all about history, right? The reason the England fans were applauding, who were they applauding last night? An Ipswich legend, Paul Mariner. Right, there you go, right? Because we were big before my time, but we're getting back there, and I want to see it. And I fucking hell, getting attacked by a bee or something.
Fuck me, fuck was that? I just died on me.
No, it's gone. It's gone. But it's actually, sorry, you just said that. BB just put that comment. Brierley Hill, birthplace of Paul Cooper. Just going to digress slightly because I just want to give a shout out to Andrew Harrison, he calls himself Black Country. He calls himself. I can't remember. He's from Dudley, right? He's a Black Country. He's from Dudley, right? And that's the reason he supported Ipswich, because Paul Cooper was from Brierley Hill. He signed for Ipswich, and he says, right, let's see how he gets on. If I like him, then I'm going to start following him. He's not from Ipswich, no affiliation with it, and he was at Cheltenham away. He beat Bolton on the weekend and all the rest of it. So, this is to come back to what I was saying about Ipswich is a big club. You ain't seeing people talk about, oh, fucking Norwich in the 60s or 70s, or do you remember when Norwich won that Milk Cup, or do you remember when they had that, when they beat Bayern Munich? Only Norwich fans in Norwich talk about that. That's it.
Yeah,
I know we harp on about it, but I've got family that are United fans, Wolves fans, and they know, the older generation know Ipswich. The younger generation, they want to remind me about 9-0, so I have to give them a slap, but that's it, But I just think the engagement. Yeah.
In another world, that's different. We have 6-0 win and 3 penalty misses, in a different world, in a different universe.
Technically, the 9-0, it should have been 8 because Paul Ince's goal should have never stood.
No, I completely agree with you there. That's just, absolutely. So what do you want from the next 2 games then? You're out off the field or on the field? What do you want from the next 2 games then? Obviously, you want 6 points, but what do you think? There you go. Little aspects in there for you.
I don't think we'll get 6 points, if I'm being honest. I think when people look at the fixtures, they'll say Bolton win, Lincoln draw, but I think we'll end up doing it the other way around. I think we'll carry on with our undefeated home form and probably another 2-2 with Bolton at home on Saturday. Part of me is being sinister there as well because I'm going to miss the game, so I don't want to miss our first home win. And then
risky business.
That's it. But then I think Lincoln will be the good test as well, because I know Lincoln, their league position isn't great like ours, but they're a good team. They've proved it. Certainly the seasons we've been in the league, in League One, and even before that, they're a bit of a bogey team for us. Cecil Bank or Linner Stadium or whatever they call it now, right? That's always been a bit of a tricky place for us, so it'll be an interesting one. Got tickets for that, so we'll be going up there. And yeah, just I'd quite happily have 4 points rather than the 6, because again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Let's start climbing up the hill slowly.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I completely agree with that. Talking of which, you may have seen, if you're an eagle-eyed viewer, that we have a new sponsor on the show. It is, of course, the name just there, Kally. Ipswich Buses. They're going to be sponsoring us that way. Yeah, they're here. They're here, look. Season-long deal with Ipswich Buses. Looking forward to working with them for the next 12 months. And I tell you what, King, Portman Road is a headache. The traffic after every game has just been a nightmare. We do the show, obviously, by the Sir Ralph Ramsey statue, and you see it because they've closed off certain roads in Ipswich. Traffic is an absolute nightmare, and it's just not the one. So instead, go with Ipswich buses and go contactless. Use that time that you would spend in the traffic jam in a pub. Not maybe yourself.
Wait,
you're traveling 4 hours, but
on your buses you can use your card.
Yep, contactless. Just done.
I mean, I ain't caught a buzz in a while, but yeah, we had to have exact change back in the day. And
yeah, likewise.
If you didn't, you were getting like nah. But I think that's good. You know, are they doing park and rides? Because I think they'd be pretty good. You know, get things. Because if I lived in the area, I'd definitely probably be using the park and ride. I know I've watched a few of the Cov games, and when I was in Wolverhampton, I watched some of the Wolverhampton games. And you would either use like a park and ride, or you park by the bus depot or whatever, and then just jump on a bus from there. It's just so much easier. And also, you can be chilling. You know, especially after the football. You want to be catching up on the other results. You want to be looking at other things. You want to be thinking, okay, you know, maybe right, match day. Okay, it's the end of the game. I need to catch up on Talking Town match day ticket. Right, cool. Need to do that. Very easy to do on a bus than trying to drive. You know.
Exactly. Don't leave early at 88 minutes, and don't go and sit in a traffic jam. Come and join us at Sir Ralph. Enjoy it, and then get the bus home contactless, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Robert Smith's going to use them this weekend, but there we go. Ipswich Buses, new sponsors of Talking Town, and they will also take the name of the matchday ticket. It will be the Ipswich Buses matchday ticket from this weekend. So yeah, really pleased to be working with Steve and the team there. There we go. Right. Jan, a quiet one planned. Mark Ashton reckoned it'd be a quiet January. I don't know. I mean, Pinocchio might have been involved, but I think the temptation will be too strong, don't you? If the team's doing well and it needs that extra ingredient, or and Town fans don't want to hear me say this, but what happens if someone like Carl Edwards rips it up and someone comes in with a silly offer? Like, you then got to go and replace him. So do you think January will be quiet, or do you think there'll be, 2 or 3, maybe 1 or 2 ins and outs?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be as busy this summer. We're not going to get any double digits in terms of transfers in. I think you will see more.
Certainly not. No.
I think you will see 2, 3 or 4 additions coming in. That is going to be dependent on players leaving, obviously. A big thing I think will be around our attacking line. So. It's famous. Everyone's quite familiar with Jackson's situation. I don't think Cook had envisioned giving him a squad number or even having him in the squad at the beginning of the season. It's just the way it turns out. And it will be interesting to see how Louis Barry gets on, because I think if Barry does well, and you'd think he's got a bit of an opportunity now with Norwood being out a little. If Barry does well, then does that put Norwood down the pecking order? Then does Norwood go? Because Norwood he's got to be on a decent wedge anyway. And there'll be League One clubs interested in him. I'm pretty sure anyway.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see something like Dobra come back, see Jackson move out, and then a defender move out and another defender come in.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I won't ask you for names. I won't ask you for names. But I just think, in an ideal world, January might be really quiet. No one leaves. No one comes. But I just think, this is a football club with some ambition about it now, and I think the temptation will prove too strong.
And also, I think maybe we'll see another central midfielder, like in a similar mould, not maybe necessarily at the same level as Morsey, but similar mould to Morsey, like a ball-winning player. And I think that's going to be entirely dependent on John Nolan. And if Cookie can shape Nolan into a central midfielder rather than this number 10 that he's apparently is or whatever, because I'll be honest, I see him more as a 10 than a central midfielder. I don't feel confident with him. I don't think he can tackle. Right, that's the problem. Like he's great. He could, his biggest thing is he could help Ross in that episode of Friends, because all he does is fucking pivot, right? He can pivot up the bloody stairs with that sofa, right? Exactly, right. And I think if he can mold him into being that kind of ball-winning midfielder, and you've got some good coaches there, then you've got a kind of backup there for Morsey, or someone that can step in when off the bench or whatever. I think if you can't, then you need to bring another one in, because just having Sam there, and I think then you've got Connor Humphreys. That's it. You don't have any. You've got Carroll, Harper, and Rex that are all the same. So all similar. They're not the same, but all similar in terms of their playing style. So I think we'll see about 3 in there.
Okay, cool. That's that.
I think there is a loan window.
Is there? I don't know. I lose track of all these different rules they bring in. I remember a time, King, when you used to loan I remember your time you used to loan a player out and you could recall him at any point. Now it's window to window. Like I remember, you get a loan out, say Dobra to Colchester, have a major injury crisis, then recall him that 2 weeks later. Nowadays it's all window to window. Mike D, Nolan's similar to Bishop and Dazelle. Where is his best position? Not a 10, not a 6, not an 8. I can tell you where I think John Nolan's best position is.
On the bench. On Ipswich buses. On the
bench is far too close to where I want him to be. He needs to be sat out, in the fan zone. That's something I want to see the football club do, I suppose, is the fan zone improvement. Like, don't forget about a little area. Make it around the stadium. Let's get big Americanized with it.
Yeah, I know we've won awards for it, but I think the fan zone shit, I'll be honest with you. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of effort. I still need to go in there and see my name on that thing about the season ticket thing, right? I need to snap it for Instagram, right? But it's shit. Like, I'm not being funny, but I'm going in there, right? There's no shelter for starters, so if it's raining, you're screwed.
Yeah,
right?
We found that out pretty early.
Right. You got to queue up. You got to do things. You're right. You got to queue up for this one bar there, and it's like there's no atmosphere. Okay, you got a band singing or whatever, but I prefer, by the statue where we all are, because you have the fans that come in, they're singing. You're seeing the fans come. Everyone's getting in the mood. That to me is more like the fan zone. The fan zone itself is like, what is it? Like, what purpose does it serve? Great for summer, great if you got little kids that you're taking out for their first couple of games. Like, oh look, there's the stadium and everything, brilliant, great. But you're on the old 3G training pitch behind the stand. It's not really seen it. There's nothing a lot to look at it and everything. It's like they could have done. They were smart about it. That park behind the north stand, they could have done something there. I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's because it's for the kids, and although I'm a child of God, I'm just not a child. So 34 years old is too old to be in the fan zone, maybe. I don't know.
Possibly. Ben Moore, don't bother, Kally. It's fucking difficult to find your name. Small as shit. Lee Anderson, Kally, your name is in gold. Could you purchase a cardboard cutout?
I need to get my cardboard cutout, actually. I was meant to pick it up. I need to fucking get my cardboard cutout.
That's hilarious thing. Guy's been banging on about how shit the club is for the last eight months, and then suddenly announces he's got a cardboard cutout.
I mean, I had the cardboard cutout while I was saying how shit we were. So I already had it. I just didn't tell the information till I was asked.
Be in a position of truth and foundation, because your cardboard cutout could relate how shit they were.
I've been at every game at Portman Road last season. There was my face. You saw it. I think I'm wearing this hat in the cardboard cutout.
Absolutely right. I'm not going to do the 3 games tonight because there's not enough time. We have 50 minutes out of a press conference. I thought we'd struggle with 10 minutes. Somehow we've done it. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. As Lee says, yeah, priceless. It still is priceless to me. Thank you for joining us. It's match week, King. Game this Saturday. Thursday prediction show, as always. Friday press conference show. But yeah, should have played the cardboard cut up front last season. Some say we did. Some say we did. But
his name was Pigger.
Did you say you're making this Saturday or not?
No, I can't. Fucking cousin's getting married, and I've messaged him. I said, look, we're doing the fixtures. To be fair, we were meant to do it in Croatia during COVID, so he changed it twice now. And I said, but you've changed it all this time, and when football season is.
Yeah.
There's a window, right? And my missus, because it's her cousin, she's like, we've got to go. Because I said, look, I point blank refuse any weddings now. Now the Indian weddings sometimes are on a Sunday, which is good, so I can go to them ones. If you get married and you want to invite me, listen, don't have it on a Saturday at around 3 o'clock. 1 o'clock he's got it. Like, do it 7 o'clock or something. I could have got to Milton Keynes in the evening or something. No. So I'm gonna have to find a VPN connection at the wedding venue, watch it with a few whiskeys, and see how it goes.
People that book holidays or marriages in a football season, I don't recognise those people. I just don't know what you're doing. Like,
well, I got married on October, so our anniversary is 16th of October, which is the same date Ipswich Town was formed. So our club was formed on the same day, but my wedding was on a Sunday. So now my mum's side, there's a big thing with Indians as well, which is about like not eating meat or drinking alcohol on the day you go to a temple. So you notice on a Sunday they won't drink, or on a Tuesday sometimes they won't drink or whatever, or have whoever did that. So my mum's side of the family are quite big on that. So my dad was like, well, we want to do the wedding on the Saturday. And I'm thinking, fuck that, I want to do the wedding on the Sunday. Right, got the pre-wedding party on the Friday, watch the football on the Saturday, get married on Sunday, job done. And it worked out that way. And she's been an Ipswich fan ever since.
Gov's Room 101. Just
I like that.
I mean, I've done it. As in, I've had to give you family holidays, and the second week of the holiday overlaps the first week of the season. And I tell you, all you end up doing in that second week of your holiday is spend at a bar. It's not a problem, but watching Jeff Sterling soccer Saturday, it's like I might as well just not fucking bother with the second week. Like, it cost me an arm and a leg, but I don't want to be missing the football results coming in. And then you meet somebody on a beach, and all you do is talk about football, or you go, "There's a game up there. Do you want to go and watch it?" "Oh yeah, let's go and watch it." Like,
and then you find yourselves on some beach resort watching bloody some Falkirk United versus Motherwell or something, just to see some football. What the fuck is going on?
Well, you got an argument with some Villa fans, like they want to watch Villa West Brom, and it's like that's not bigger than Ipswich Town versus Newquay.
Anyone. Just anyone.
It's like this war in a bar, but there we go. My sister got married on Grand National Day. Another day you mustn't do anything on. I hate that when Town are at home on Grand National Day, because I like to put a few bets on for Grand National. And then
I've never been big on the old horse racing thing.
Yeah, I've been noticed to be in the old cobblestone toilets with a radio, listening to the old Grand National at half time.
Sorry, you do what in the cobblestone toilets?
Listening to a radio. Coxie got married 4 days after the playoff. They weren't the only one scoring at the playoff final. Then Coxie, get in. This man turned 50, can you believe?
Was Matty then born 9 months later? How old's Matty?
Matty Holland. Yes. How old is Matty? We've nailed on something there. There you go. Lift the curtain. Right. Robert Smith. I watched the playoffs 2015, second leg in Magaluf. Actually, it's probably the best place to watch second leg, to be fair. Like, at least you can go out and get slaughtered after you've watched the team.
After watching us get slaughtered.
Yeah. I was going to say something else, but I'm not going to say it. What was with a load of Leeds fans. I bet that was fun. Absolutely. Right, Kally, thank you for your presence this evening. I've got your 3 games. I've got some notes, some videos and stuff all together. So we will sit down at some point and do that, because I think there's 3 really interesting games that people will like to remember, particularly the first one. I've got a lot of memories myself about that. But
we won't go into that, but I was trying to find some highlights on that, and you just can't find anything. So you found some. Okay, yeah. I'll message you later.
It's currently running itself through the YouTube algorithm to see if YouTube will copyright it. If they don't, I will be using it. But if they do, I'll just send it to you. But yes, I've got a couple of things. Yeah. It's not what you know, it's who you know in this world, my friend.
There you go.
Then more. I was born. We were in the Premier League. Then it was downhill.
I don't know what to say on that comment.
Maybe he wants a nickname. He wants a nickname. Maybe we need to, go with, I don't know, Jonah. I don't know. I don't know. At the moment, it's a young Pep Guardiola.
What did you call it? I don't
Horseshoe?
The horseshoe.
I don't know. We'll come up with something. But Kally, it's been a real pleasure laughing and joking with you. And I hope everyone at home has enjoyed it. Don't forget you can subscribe to the channel free of charge. Just hit the subscribe button and make TT your preferred Ipswich Town content. You won't be disappointed. And of course, you can support us through Ko-Fi Nice new green screen there, says Hume's Bakery. Yeah, absolutely is. Yeah. While I've been doing this show, the wife has been behind the green screen, hanging out the laundry. So like it's fulfilling its purpose.
Brilliant.
Exactly. And
The magic of Hollywood.
Absolutely, mate. I'll be acting in front of like robotic dragons at some point. Do you know what I mean? Like I'll be moving with like.
This is a green screen too. There's not really a shelf of books and stuff behind me. It's on the Google. You can find it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Get that. I'll leave it on this comment. Get the flap open, Gov. I'm not sure to say that to that, but good evening.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better without what's been holding